I appreciate you saying that because a lot of people, I heard from somebody else, I like to get myself over a certain icon in his own mind, but you know, he's a f***ing moron.
Yeah, you jerk. So now you're talking shit about two people.
How about memorable? Remember the first time that we met? We never even spoken a word to each other. We get on, take one, action, we do the promo for ECPW Adrenaline, and you go off.
I have no recollection.
And I was like,
No recollection?
No recollection? Okay, let's look at it right now.
Let's watch it.
Andrew Keller back here, and I'm standing by with the game changer, Aaron Bradley. And I find your actions absolutely despicable for what you did in Bayonne, New Jersey to Tony Rush. And you know what? Take a look. Look what you've done.
Okay, well, obviously we're leaving out the part where he costed me my match first. And now, here you see me causing a little bit of a distraction for Teller to pick up the win. But you know what? If Tony Rush was the athlete he said he was, he wouldn't have gotten distracted by me. He wouldn't have let his focus be on me. He would have kept focus on John Teller, and he would have won. But he didn't. And then, after the match, after John Teller pinned his shoulders for the 1, 2, 3, I took matters into my own hands. Tony, I hit you with a steel chair, and I don't feel any remorse about it. You know why? Because just like Sonny Kiss and just like Ali Rex, you're just someone who thinks they're better than me, and that's a problem, Tony. That's a big, big problem. And Andrew, I tell you right now, if he wants to get in the ring with me, I'm going to knock him down just like I did Sonny and just like I did Ali.
I think we heard just about enough.
Don't you ever cut me off when I'm talking. I'm the 2014 Rookie of the Year, the 2015 Most Improved Wrestler of the Year. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Don't you ever cut me off again. Unless you want to end up on the disabled list like Sonny Kiss and Ali Rex. Do you want that?
No.
No, that's what I thought. That's what I thought, Andrew. That's what I thought. That is game-changing.
Uh-huh. You looked a lot younger there. You were the game changer there. Now you're relentless.
Don't ever let me shave. That was frightening.
You know, funny story about that. That was the only time. I think Gino let us use that promo in its entirety because he used to say 28 seconds and you got to get these guys off. So that was the only time because even he liked the promo.
To go like a minute there.
You
were
like
long.
a minute and 40, dude.
Really?
Absolutely. You just kept going off on Andy.
It was all about that. I was telling you how, and that was the first time I used Despicable. Maniac, heavy metal maniac loves music.
Despicable.
He loves when I say that. It was just
there.
Mike. It was just you. It was just you.
I was downstairs. Yeah, I was there
Bro,
with the camera.
I'm even like now like thinking about it, I'm like getting the goosebumps.
Dude, the chemistry we had like right off the bat was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And what I liked about it is that you didn't take the segment and try to get yourself over. Like you sold everything perfectly with the facial expressions, backing off, trying to cut me off, and then like as soon as you tried to cut me off, it infuriated me more. You know, I'm already mad because of what happened.
I appreciate you saying that because a lot of people, I heard from somebody else, I like to get myself over a certain icon in his own mind, but you know, he's a fucking moron.
I felt at that time everyone was against me, you know, as if everyone was trying to stop me from getting to where I need to be, you know.
It was believable. Even like some fans, when they watched the episode, they're like, hey, you guys are going to keep filming these episodes because you guys are doing a great job. The editing looks great. The picture looks great, everything. And even Gino was like, oh, you guys are going to keep coming. And we said, we'll keep coming back. And here we are, almost 2 years later. We're still filming and producing and everything.
Icon?
Yeah. He's
Is he?
Hey, I know a guy that was on The Wrestler.
Empty buildings, bingo!
I know a guy that was on The Wrestler one time. Ask him. He'll tell you.
Oh, I was in the
I know a
movie,
guy in The
Wrestler.
Wrestler too.
That's
I have his
me.
autograph.
That's who I was talking about. Yeah, totally.
I was the guy in the front row. I was in Dover, New Jersey. And you were there too. We didn't even know each other, Mike. That was what's funny about it.
No, I was not there.
you were
I
there.
was supposed to
You
go.
were there, O'Neal.
Yeah, I got free
That was
ROH
in Dover?
tickets.
That was in Dover.
Yeah.
Wait, Ring of Honor had an event in Dover? Where?
It was a Ring of Honor show. It was the second day of a 2-day
Yes.
like show that they did. It was on March 14 of 2004, I think that it was.
Really?
And they had Mickey Rourke go through that aisle almost like 10, 15 times. The first time he goes in the ring to do his speech, it's supposed to be his farewell speech. Everybody kept cutting him off, going, what? Every time, right?
Yeah.
So then,
He fucked up.
so the director, who's also the director of Pi, I forgot his name, Darren, whatever, right? Yeah, I'm sorry, I apologize. He's a great director. But he was telling everybody, hey guys, this
Like
is...
he's gonna
and
watch
I
this?
know, I'm
He's
just
not
saying,
gonna ever
he's
see.
not, you never know. But he's from Jersey, and isn't he?
All right, so
He
whatever.
used Gino's school also, anyhow. But I like the guy. I like his movie. So anyhow, he was telling everybody, hey guys, this is supposed to be his farewell speech. Picture Ric Flair or Hulk Hogan giving his farewell speech. Are you guys gonna say what? So everybody, the whole crowd is chanting to themselves, we fucked up, we fucked up. He did the promo again and again. I just thought like the first couple
Ram.
times, yeah.
Ram, that name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Mickey Rourke was the Ram.
Yeah, he was
That's it.
It's not an icon.
Randy
No,
the
never
Ram.
mind.
Yeah.
Never
Well, he
mind.
was an icon of the movie.
He was the icon
for
of the
like
movie.
2 hours.
No, there was
right,
actually an audience in the fucking building. The thing what I like about you is you don't shy away from the heat. And even we talked about this. I like the fact that you would just go up to anybody and just spit in their face. Spit on the kid. Make them go home and be like, I hate that guy, Bradley. I could not stand him.
What? I remember like the second or third time I saw you, you're like, my wife hates you.
She does to this day. If she knew you were in the studio right
I
now.
figured that's why she stayed upstairs this whole time. Like,
No, well,
she.
it's possible.
Even when I explained, it was at Christmas Chaos. It was the first Christmas Chaos we did, and you were
Oh.
you were the first impression, first match you came out because you berated the kid at ringside when you were giving him your hat and your shirt.
Well,
So-
they put him in the first match.
and not just
in
that,
a triple threat, but he was originally
triple-
scheduled to
Yeah.
face
Sam
Sam
Shields,
Shields,
right.
who no-showed.
You know what? That was kind of like my tipping point of just being aggravated with everything going on. I knew it was time for a change of scenery, because at that point, me and Sam Shields had a awesome like rivalry. The interviews we were giving and like the match we had at the
The
Paramus
10
Elks
minute,
Lodge.
the 10 minute. You guys went the 10-minute time
Yeah.
limit. Yeah.
And then there was also one where Ali Rex slapped me. That one too was my favorite. We still had the Paramus Elks Lodge. That was the last show they did there. Then the next match we had was in the Knights of Columbus in Ridgefield. And so I get told, okay, you're gonna wrestle Sam Shields again. Cool. I'm all set. We do the promos and stuff. And then all of a sudden, I find out from somebody else, not the promoter, that Sam Shields isn't showing up. Actually, it was Kevin Apollo had told me. I'm like, so what do you mean? What does that do for the title match? You know, because I was aggravated because like, I don't like doing things half-assed. If we start something, we have to finish it. You know. And like Christmas Chaos is your big show. That's where all the feuds are settled, you know? That was supposed to be our big, you know, send-off to the feud. And whether he was supposed to go over or I was supposed to go over, I don't know. But I get there and I see Gino and he's like, Sam isn't coming. I was like, yeah, no, I heard. And about a week before this show, Dan the Man had told me that he was pitching me hard to get into Team Shazam. And that was supposed to be another plan. That yeah, application still pending. I'm waiting.
It is.
But I was like, cool, so I get to join Team Shazam. That's, you know, a cool faction. I'll be able to go, not just to ECPW, but they're everywhere. You know, they're at LAW, they had a little stint in NEW and places like that. And I would be able to market, you know, myself along with being in Team Shazam. I was like, cool. So I get there, and Gino's like, so I'm going to put you in a match with Timothy Plasma, now known as Orlock Odell, and Brandon Alpha. And you can see just how frustrated I was. And that was the only time in wrestling where I just didn't want to be there. The only match that my heart wasn't there, because we had done so much cool work with the promo work and the match work, and like everything was leading up to have this awesome match. I knew, because the chemistry between me and Sam it was there, you know? Like, he was such an awesome guy to be in the ring with, because he knew where to be to, you know, make us both seem larger than life.
Yeah, that was the only time I remember in Allendale. You looked really pissed. And I remember Mike coming up to me.
Because we were talking in the back, and he's like,
He was coming up to me and he goes, yeah, I was just talking to Bradley's dad, and he's like pissed. I was like, yeah, I just saw him. He didn't feel right. He goes, yeah, it's not going to be him and Sam Shields. It's going to be Orlock opening match. I was like, well, Timothy Plasma, first match. So I said, okay.
I remember they came up to me and they're like, so what do you want to do? I go, I don't fucking know. Like, usually I'm like, okay, let's do this. Like, I'm a workhorse. Like, I want to be able, no matter what the situation is, I want to be able to have the best match of the night. But just like, to put so much hard work and put my time into something for it not to happen was just so demoralizing, you know?
that was right after the Game Changers ended, right? You started the Relentless right there?
Yeah, that was actually my last match as Game Changer Aaron Bradley.
That's right.
That was December 28th, I believe.
So I remember we
it was.
did made that promo to announce.
That was a lot of fun too, because it was like in my hometown, and like the problem with Game Changer is, to this day I couldn't tell you why I called myself Game Changer. It looked cool on paper, and it was a cool, like it was a cool nickname, but that's all it was. It was a nickname. It wasn't something I earned. It wasn't something that was me. It was fake emotion, you know? And I had taken a trip up to Canada with a guy named Mark House, and he asked me some questions that I've never been asked before. He's like, listen, you know, you got talent, but you're never getting anywhere with the moniker or the character that you're portraying now, because it's not real. And he goes, I've wrestled you, and I can tell you're trying to force emotion onto people, and they're not buying it. You know, wrestling fans are so smart now that you can't fake emotion, you know? So he's like, I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to answer it truthfully. And he goes, would you pay $10 to see you? I'm like, shit.
It's a good question, actually. I don't think I've ever heard anyone else that.
I've never been put on the spot that way. And it was just me and him, but I felt like the whole world was like, you know, just put in front of me. It was like, would you put your $10, you know, that's an hour of work for most people, to spend that to go see one person. I was like,
I could answer the question for myself, O'Neal, and Mike when we came to Magic the first time. We saw you in person at Magic. We came to support you and the Graysons. So we went there, and they said they would just let us in, but I think there was a mix-up. The owner wasn't at the door, Anthony, so we didn't want to bother them. We just wanted to get inside. It was like right when the bell time was starting. So we paid like $20 each.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
what I thought going in was,
gotta,
and I'm not
this
even blowing smoke, the thing that I said to myself was like, I want to see what Bradley does and Mike Donovan, and they had Bob Holly on the card, and then there was one other.
Paul London was on it.
And Paul London.
Yeah.
And
JT Dunn.
And JT
was
Dunn.
on it.
So we were like, so to answer your question, yeah, if we would pay the money to see you and those other guys, because those are the things that we focused on.
yeah.
You know what I mean? We came there also to get interviews, and you guys did help us, and we did interviews that day, and we did interviews with a lot of other people that day, but we actually sat there as fans, like, for the first time. We're so used to going around filming and everything.
Oh, yeah, we were booing
but
the
we
shit
were there.
out of you.
We were booing the shit out of you.
I remember that.
Remember that? Like, just to
Yeah.
get, and I was like, it was almost like like you looked pissed, and when you saw me, you were coming up, and you're like sticking that finger, and I'm like, oh, look, he knows it.
Yeah, I remember, like, I saw you at first. You just fall down.
I did.
You just fall down.
I totally did, but I played it
Mike's
off.
a big guy.
I was gonna try to no sell it. I was gonna try to know
That's why I just
something,
turned to you with the
but
water.
I'm like, okay, I'm gonna say
He
something
played it
now.
cool. He played it cool.
There's not much room behind us, whether you believe it or not. We're on a stage, but it's like that much.
But seeing you in Richfield Park, I mean, seeing you in Richfield Park was like, we had just saw you there, what,
leaned
maybe
back.
a month before that?
Yeah.
Totally different environment because the crowd was different. I mean, it wasn't the same people.
Completely.
Completely
Two different completely.
Same
crowds.
venue with the same lights, same setup, same way where the aisle was facing, but
You know what this is like? ECPW has always been home to me. Always will be. That's where I started. If it wasn't for Gino Caruso, I wouldn't be wrestling. You know, I met him at a show that was near my hometown in Sussex, and he, told me come down, train, and he did right by me in every way. You know, I may have been bitter because of creative decisions, and I know I'm not the easiest person to deal with sometimes. Shut up, you. I'm trying to be sentimental. And so now I lost my train of thought, you dick.
It's right.
like your problems with EC. I mean,
But like,
No, you said Gino
that's
gave
where
him
I was
a start.
going.
yeah.
Going from, because there was a while where I was going Pro Wrestling Magic to ECPW in the same building. Going into the ring in ECPW, it's cool, but sometimes there's a lot of empty seats, and like, it's the same crowd over and over again.
Did you get a lot of shit for that? I mean, wrestling for Magic and being with ECPW at the time?
I did not. I don't think I did. Nobody ever had done anything to my face. But whether people are talking shit behind your back seems to happen a lot, But
It is two different
yeah.
crowds.
it's
though. We
completely
understand
different.
that.
And like to go there during Pro Wrestling Magic and everyone's hot. Like when Kill the Magic finally formed, 3 singles guys that were never given a singles match, never given a spotlight to show what they were made of. So we were like, screw this, man. We're never supposed to make it. We're going to make it. We're going to make our own path. We're going to march to our own beat, and we're going to go against every motherfucker in that locker room. So it was me, Matty Ice, and Mike Donovan. We did a few run-in angles. Those ones I didn't get in trouble for.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
But, we were doing these run-ins, and eventually Steve Off joined us, and then Ricky Martinez joined us, and then we were like NWO in the later years. There was like so many people. It was like, okay. Then the fans stopped caring. Like they cared at first, then they stopped caring. Like, okay. We kicked Matty Ice out, and we limited it to just us 4, and it's me and Steve as the tag team. Donovan is now the heavyweight champion. And then Ricky Martinez is our wild card. And Ricky Martinez had been screwed out of the world title time after time by Pro Wrestling Magic, And then Steve Off, who helped found the company, or find the company, he was given a feud with Hoost, and the crowd didn't give a shit, And then after that, they didn't give him anything. Like, he helped put you guys, finance this project, and you just put him out in the street. Now it's like, okay, what do we do with him? Let's take him in. We're pissed off. He's pissed off. Let's be pissed off together. So we formed the American Murder Society, and we ended up gelling really well. And it wasn't supposed to go outside of Pro Wrestling Magic. It's supposed to be exclusive tag team to Kill the Magic. But the chemistry between us was so good that other promotions started saying, well, shit, let's bring him in. So we did some Warriors tapings at the studio tapings they have in Staten Island. Okay. We went to WXW. We're now in D2W. We did New Moon Rising, where I thought I was going to catch staph infection from their nasty mats. Oh, we're live.
Yeah, we are live, pal. Talk about that. It's not a subject that a lot of wrestlers talk about. I mean, you guys go through, all the pain, getting bumped everywhere.
This business hurts. This business hurts a lot mentally and physically. Mainly mentally because we have huge egos and none of us like to admit it. But, look, I've had my teeth knocked out. you know,
By
like,
me.
well, yeah, I disagree with the promo and.
Don't disagree. That's all.
How demanding is Mike as a producer? 'Cause, I mean, he has produced, like, he is such a pain in the ass. O'Neal, can you vouch for that a little bit?
Sometimes-
You talk about a perfectionist. I love Mike.
Like-
I love him like a brother, but the guy's a perfectionist.
Oh.
Do you get that when you're on the baseball field or all these other places when he's shooting the vignettes?
I'll be like, I love this promo. He's like, I fucking hate it. You suck. I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah, he could be mean, huh?
I say it nicer.
He's like the dad I never wanted.
Yeah.
He'll be like really, really good, and he'll be like, it could be better.
It could be better.
I think we do it again. You want to do it one more time?
No, but in all reality, like, my promos wouldn't be half as good if it wasn't for this man. Like, I've walked away from promos and I'll be like, well, that was shit. And like, he sends it to me and they're the best thing I've ever seen. Like, your camera cuts and your editing and the like the sound behind it, like the sound effects and the music you add in, like, it really sets me apart from guys with their phone doing promos in their car. Like, I hate that so much. And I hate that that's what wrestling's become.
It's the cell phone age.
Like,
Everybody
it's
has
like,
Anybody
This-
could
this
produce.
Friday night, I'm gonna stomp your ass. I'm like, shut up. No, you're not.
I hate
Like,
when I see those, man. I just think like, give us 10 minutes of your time. We'll
like, here we are. We're supposed to be larger than life characters, and you're doing promos on Snapchat.
yeah.
Like, come on. Like, invest in yourself.
The
Like,
thing that I like about you
Yeah.
also with interacting with fans, and I even said this to Lou, Meadowlands Monster. I asked him, why do you interact with the fans a lot? Like, he's a good friend of ours. Like, and Noel knows him very well. We talked about this. You're a monster. You're 7 feet tall. Why are you smiling and kissing babies and being nice to everybody? Be a monster.
to a sense, you have to protect your character. I get it's 2018 and kayfabe's dead, which I think is the biggest bullshit lie. If you promote anything real, it's gonna seem real, you know?
But it takes away from your mystique. I'm not saying so much the interaction with the fans.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, when people pay money to see you, don't they want to see Aaron Bradley perform in the ring? Do they want to see Aaron Bradley roam around for 30, 40 minutes before a show? That's
No,
what I mean.
absolutely not. Like, I'll try to shake as much hands as possible at intermission and stuff like that when I'm selling merchandise, and like, I get it. Not
That's the
everyone
time to
has
do it, right.
$5 or $10 to spend, but come by, say hi, and I'll talk to you for a minute or two. But like, people just go out and like, you realize that you're just like everyone else. You know, you don't set yourself to a higher standard. You know, you'll never catch me, you know, roaming around the crowd, you know, talking. If I'm in the crowd, I'm getting from point A to point B as quickly as possible. Like, hey, how are you? Get to where I need to be and get the fuck out of there. I was bullied a lot in elementary school and middle school. And it mostly stems from, I've come from nothing. I came home one day, we used to live up in, my family used to live up in Pennsylvania. And I came home one day and my dad's sitting there painting the walls. I'm like, fucking weird. I don't really need to paint the walls. I'm like, you know, I'm in 2nd grade at the time. I'm like, what's going on? And he goes, well, I'm getting kicked out of the house. What the hell does that mean? He goes, we're not going to have a place to stay after August. Shit, I'm in 2nd grade. I don't know what the fuck that means.
And you remember this vividly. As
Oh,
second
yeah.
grade.
Like, things like this, like, stick out in your mind, you know? And then we ended up getting kicked out. We lived with a family friend, and then she started going out, or she started going back out with her piece of shit boyfriend. He kicked us out, and we were in a trailer for, like, 4 months through the holidays and everything. But honestly, it was the best thing that ever happened, because I appreciate so much more now. You know, I'm happy to have food on my table. I'm happy to have clothes. I'm happy to, you know, I know when my next meal is coming. You know, I'm not sitting wondering, okay, am I going to eat today? You know,
Right,
it's really cool. So once you live like that for 4 months, you have to readjust to living normally, you know? And so we ended up getting a place in Hamburg, New Jersey. And so I'm going to Hamburg school. Right away, the kids can see I'm different because, you know, I'm kind of in shitty clothes. And, you know, not the most hygienic person in the room because, you know, you're living in a trailer with no running water, no refrigeration, no working oven. You know, it's hard. So you live on bare minimum, you know. And right away, like, I was kind of like outcasted from everyone. And like I learned to get by myself. So I've been kind of like an outsider and like kind of like a loner since then. Like I keep a couple close friends, like people that like you really have to impress me to be my friend, you know, because I've seen how ugly people can get, especially children nowadays. They're pieces of shit. So I move into Hamburg and like the kids can see right away I'm different, you know, because I'm still adjusting to life, you know, how you're supposed to live it, you know. And I was an outcast. I was kind of like a loner from day one, you know, there. And like I had like 2 or 3 really close friends that I kept, you know, still actually follow me. One guy, Eric Kilty, he's got a band. He's actually playing in Warped Tour this year, which is really cool because like he was the first friend I ever had in Hamburg.
What's the name of the band?
Losing Streak.
Losing Streak.
There's your
Shout
plug.
out right
There's
there.
your plug.
So he was, you know, he was the one person I was like, because we bonded over wrestling. He was a huge Kane fan.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room that everybody is wondering.
There's an elephant
It actually made the dirt sheets. You made it.
I think I know where we're going with this.
We do. So we actually just recently spoke to Grim.
He's a friend of ours. You're a friend of ours. I mean,
Right.
he didn't have a bad thing to say about you. And
didn't.
even when we talked privately, you didn't have anything bad to say about him. And I think both of you, like, really just want to move on from it. And it is what it was. I mean, you can't go back and change the course of history. It happened.
But why?
Why?
What happened that day?
We wanna know from you
What
what
made
happened.
you run out and be like, I'm gonna fucking punch this guy in the face
Why don't you
because
tell us what happened in your words?
So, before I state what happened in my own mind, I want to be very perfectly clear on camera in front of everybody that it was a mistake. Should have
Right.
never happened. It was unprofessional. It was uncalled for, and most of all, it was embarrassing. It should not have happened. Most of all, in front of a live audience. If there's something to be said, it should have been said in the locker room. I handled myself completely out of character and out of turn. It should have never happened. Now, to talk about my mental state and what was happening at that time. So, we were told to get there at 3 p.m. to help with setup. Cool, I have no problem with that. I have no problem carrying in the ring, setting up the ring.
Of course.
It's a business. I love the business and I respect the business. So if the ring needs to be set up, I'll grab a board. I'll grab the ring post. You know, chairs need to be set up. I'll be the first one out there setting up chairs. No one's above that. I got there about 3:15, 3:30, so I was a little late. I fell asleep on the beach for 2.5 hours. If you actually watch the tape, I'm red. I look like a goddamn lobster. So everyone else kind of like got there by like 4:30, and everyone at that point still hustling to get there. This guy from who was training at CZW at the time, I won't say his name because I don't want to drag him into a situation he doesn't need to be in, but he was there before anyone else, setting up the ring, setting up chairs, setting up the sound system. He wasn't booked. He showed up to help out and maybe there was a spot open. And I really felt for the guy because I've met him a few times and I really like him. And he's an awesome performer. And he got told no, there was, full card, whatever, it happens. It's wrestling. You show up, hope for a spot. If there's no spot, you just sit back and enjoy the show, So I'm like, that sucks. And everyone's there by 4:30. And then in comes the guys from GTS at 5:45. It's a 6:30 show.
See, this is where a lot of people get things misconstrued. You guys were not mad because they were disrespecting the wrestling business. You were mad because they came in late. Is that what you're saying? Because Grim is a fan of wrestling, obviously. We know that. We've seen his play. We've seen how he has love for the business. But did you guys get mad because they weren't real wrestlers, or was it the fact that they came in late?
It was
Or both.
It was a cocktail of both, pretty much.
Okay.
I was aggravated, and they kind of like brother shaked everyone, and like the guy with the mask, I don't even know his name, didn't shake.
What does that mean, brother shake?
Dead fish. Dead.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Hi, how are you? You know, and like I get it. Like when you're trying to shake everyone's hand, and you get there late. It's kind of nerve wracking. So maybe that's what it was. And I'm not thinking like that at the time. I'm just pissed off. So nothing makes sense to me. You know, I'm not thinking clearly. I'm like, all right, that's fucking weird. And so in my mind, I was told that these guys were not trained. They pay to be on shows and whatnot for followers or whatever.
Okay.
You know, I had never watched a GTS episode. I just know what I was told. And at the time, I was immature enough to believe what I've been told. So Kirk and I go out and have a match. It wasn't a great 5-star match, but it was a good match. We worked our ass off. There was actually a spot, because I'm so sunburnt during this match, it was a hardcore match. And he goes to grab like a chair, and I go to give him a kick, and I like slap my leg. And I remember selling my leg because of the sunburn. And it knocked the wind out of me. It was like, damn. So the other matches on the card, go out there and absolutely tear the place down. Smiley had an awesome match. Corey Dillinger had an amazing match with Frankie Picard. And like, then I was like, it's time for these guys to go out. Jay Evans, I've seen him work. I really like his work. Grim and the guy under the mask, I don't know his name.
Yeah, I don't remember.
They go out there, and Kirk goes to me. He's like, "Let's go watch the match. Let's go, see what it's about." We had no intentions going out there.
So it wasn't premeditated.
No.
It wasn't planned. Like you weren't sitting
No,
in the back
we
all
weren't-
morning going, "We're gonna
No.
get there." Yeah.
Because what Grim is saying, when he told us in our other interview with him, he said that you guys were sent out by the promoter. Like, did the promoter send you guys?
I'll get to that in a second. But so we go out there and we're in the aisleway, and like supposedly I guess you can see us on camera just sitting there watching it. I'm like watching it, and like it was. I don't want to bury him because what we did was unprofessional, but it wasn't a good match. It was, at the time, I felt like it was a slap in the face to everyone who worked their ass off. You know, they're kind of like laughing and giggling in the ring, and like, I didn't get that that's their shtick. Like, they're not supposed to have a good match. Like, they're comedy, and like I didn't get that at the time. And I was really immature about it. But Kirk's getting pissed off. I'm getting pissed off because we felt like it was kind of like a slap in the face to our match. And he looks at me and goes, "Who's stopping us from running in?" And I go, "Nobody." He goes, "Do you wanna?" I go, "Yes." So we look at the promoter who is running the show. So there's the promoter, Kyle Cutts, who is a piece of shit. O'Neal, there's your burial.
We're live. Happy O'Neal? He buried somebody live.
Kyle Cutts, he was the promoter. He put the show together. He was a piece of shit. The other guy was running the show that day because Cutts couldn't make it.
Who's the actually owner of the company?
Kyle Cutts.
And why would you say he's, what?
I'll get to that in a second as well.
Okay.
It all plays out for the story. So we look at the...
Speak.
Yeah, dude.
Let
why
the
you
man
being a
finish the
dick?
story.
Go right ahead.
Why you being a dick?
I'm trying to get.
That's two.
That's the second time, Mike.
I keep leaning back. All right, go.
Let's move this TV.
I'm getting fascinated by the story. I'm forgetting that we're recording. I want to know the story, but go right ahead. I apologize.
So we look at the promoter who's running the show that night, and I don't think he knew we were serious. Mm-hmm. And Kirk goes, "We're gonna do a run-in." He goes, "Yeah, I don't give a shit," and walks away. And we're like, "That's a green light. Okay." So the bell rings, the match is over, and we hit the ring, cue the minute clip that shows up, and Jay Evans takes the powerbomb, and from what I heard with the podcast you guys did, that he was actually supposed to take a powerbomb or something, or He thought that was part of the skit.
Well, that's what a lot of people commenting they were writing that if it was not a work, why would he take a power bomb? So what?
As I said, I like Jay Evans' work. I thought he was really talented and a bright point and a low point of the card. And I could see that night that he had talent, and he had good, a unique look to him too. So we do the run-in. I hit Grim, and the fallout happens. Brandon cuts the promo. Grim says, unfollow this place, suck my dick. They go to the locker room. I guess there was turmoil in the locker room. They started throwing shit. Nobody in the back knows what the fuck's going on. We didn't talk to anybody besides the promoter about what was going on. And I don't think he thought we were serious. So this happens, and then their security, which are just 3 fat marks they put in a security shirt and let them watch the match for free. We're getting pushed out the door by security. My dad and my sister, who were there, are following, and my sister doesn't know what's going on, and she's kind of hysterical at this point because she doesn't know what the hell is happening. She opens the door, and I guess it almost hits somebody, and that person goes, "Watch where you're fucking going," and then my dad almost fights that person, and I was like, "Oh my god, this place is a fucking shit show." So we get to our car, Kirk's smoking a cigarette, and one of the managers that were on the show goes and grabs our bags because, she knew that we were outside. So she gets our bags for us. We're heading to our car, put them in our car, and the promoter comes out and he goes, "Get the fuck out of here. Kyle Cutts just called the cops." What? He doesn't know what the fuck happened, but he called the cops.
He's not even there.
No, he's not there. He's just hearing secondhand of what's happening, and so he calls the cops. We get out of there, and GTS actually left before us. They got their shit and threw it in their bags. They kind of yelled at us walking away, and we didn't respond after that because we kind of knew right there that it was like, okay, we fucked up. We're in trouble. We are in trouble.
Did you realize at that point that moment would be viral for that, that period in time?
Actually, that's sick. I'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
Too. But so that's why I think Kyle Cutts is a piece of shit because he called the cops without knowing what the hell happened. And then my phone's going off here and there sporadically about what happened. And it wasn't until I woke up the next morning that I knew how badly we fucked up. Because I woke up to 47 death threats from Grimm's Toy Show fans. Either Facebook, Messenger, commenting on my pictures, commenting on my YouTube videos, commenting on Instagram, Twitter, everything. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? So I call up Kirk, I'm like, dude, what the fuck did we do? He goes, I don't fucking know. We're like, nothing we can do at this point. It's done.
Yeah, it happened.
So we can't take back what's done. So there's another message from Kyle Cutts. And this is where I think he's a piece of shit. Calls the cops on us and texts me and Kirk that night, what the fuck was that? You embarrassed my promotion, blah, blah, blah. And then texts us the next morning, hey, I just went on Twitter and I saw you guys have a bunch of heat. Do you guys want to make some money off of this? And my response was like, go fuck yourself. Period. Sent. That was the last time I texted him.
You haven't spoken to him since?
No, I don't wish to.
I can get him on the phone for you if you want.
No, I'd rather not. I have nothing to say to him.
No.
And I'd really like to see his rebuttal to this because I can just.
Well, he wasn't there, so how could he really?
Exactly. He
All
wasn't
he can
there.
say is, I got a text message or I got a phone call and someone said, you did this and how, you know.
And so that all happens, and like the only thing that pissed me off was I fucked up. Kirk fucked up. We know this. We admitted it many times.
No, you did. I mean, we even spoke, and you were like,
We
"Damn,
even
I
said like we don't
fucked up."
condone these, but
Yeah.
we felt bad for we got Grimm's side, and while we're interviewing, we could see like he was upset about the situation, but we weren't,
Rightfully so.
and we didn't try to like instigate. We just wanted to get his side, just like we're getting your
Yeah.
side right now.
The only thing that bothered me, like if I fuck up, yell at me. I'm the one that did it.
I think I know where you're going.
My girlfriend was not even in the goddamn country. She was in the Philippines with family. And she received death threats. And received these nasty Twitter posts and stuff. And like, she just like joined Twitter, so she didn't know the backlash and how fast it can add up. And I felt so guilty for putting her in a situation that she couldn't understand. You know? Because this is only 6 months into our dating. She has made me happier than anyone ever possibly could. She puts up with my constant changing of plans. Like, I feel so guilty because there's days where we're like, okay, let's go do something now. And like, I'll cancel plans because I gotta go train or I gotta show. And like, I could see she's frustrated, but overall she understands. And that's all I can ask from her is, you know, that she understands why I do what I do. And she pushes me to be more than I thought I could be, you know? So for her to be in that situation where she's new to the wrestling scene and new to dating me wasn't fair to her, and I felt really guilty. So now I'm feeling guilty for the situation in which I took part of and the situation I put my family and my girlfriend in, you know? It overall was a shitty situation which should have been avoided. Unfortunately, cooler heads didn't prevail, and we did what we did, and I can't stand by it. And anyone who supported me, like, oh, you know, good for you, you showed them, like, I don't deserve support for that.
Have you spoken to Grimm, or is this like, not really?
I reached out to him, but I think the wound was still too fresh. I wouldn't mind reaching out to him again to kind of bury everything, because I don't have any ill will towards him. I really don't.
Would you appear on a Grimm Story Show episode?
I don't know.
You wouldn't Grimm Story Show? No?
If the money was right?
If the money was right.
If the money's right, I'll do anything. Well,
Andy.
nah, like, it's not even about money. It's about, like, I don't want to make anything uncomfortable for them, you know? And, like, unfortunately, and rightfully so, I lost a lot of respect from a lot of people that I respected in the wrestling business, from places like WrestlePro and places like that. And when the situation really blew up was when two guys from WWE tweeted about it.
I remember that. Yeah.
That's when it was like, oh man.
It's real. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, we're screwed.
Well, let me ask you this question, though, because most people, you know, real things happen in wrestling. We know that. Real situations arise, but then 90% of the time, that real situation becomes an angle and they make the money off of it. Like you said, he reached out for. Why didn't you guys, you know, maybe talk on the back or figure a way to work with each other to play off of that angle to make maybe money down the road with maybe not with that same company, but maybe with a Magic or a, you know, an ECPW or some other independent company that you guys could have done something with? Is it just you guys
It all
couldn't work
falls
together?
upon, I don't want anybody in the ring that can't trust me.
Okay.
You know, and unfortunately, I put myself into a situation to not be trusted. And I've always taken pride in being a safe worker, and to this day, I haven't injured anybody, you know, in a ring. No, like,
No, but I mean, like,
I really do take
so
pride in it.
you say, like, you're telling us you're a professional, right?
Yeah.
You act like a professional. So if you were put in the ring with him, you wouldn't go to
No,
physically hurt
absolutely
him,
not.
but you would work the match.
I would work the match. I
regular
would
way
try
you-
to
yeah.
convey the emotion that needs to be emoted, and I would, you
Right.
know,
Would
So-
you trust him?
Yeah, well, I mean, would you trust him?
I would.
Okay.
I know, I've heard from numerous sources that, he knows what he's doing. So, yeah, I can say I can trust
But at
him.
that time, it was never a thought in your head.
Yeah,
like,
at
hey,
the time
we
I
can
was really immature. I was selfish. I was pissed off at something I shouldn't have been pissed off about.
Right.
He made himself valuable in ways that I didn't make myself valuable, and I didn't see that at the time. I was, pissed off. So,
Without putting the blame squarely on your partner, it really, from your story, it wasn't like you had a vendetta and said, I'm going to go out to the ring. It was like, hey, do you want to go out there? And then that's how it just snowballed, and then the whole situation came out,
everyone knows, like, emotions can get the best of you. Like, we're both pissed off. And all it needed was just a spark to ignite something, And once we were like, hey, we're going to do a run-in, and he's like, and the promoter's like, I don't give a shit, and walks away, we're like...
Right. But from that situation, I feel like you guys have, I mean, you, at least from my viewpoint, have dramatically changed and grown.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, look at you now. You're one half of the Pro Wrestling Magic Tag Team Champions. And again, you had other belts in the past. You lost, but you had them.
Why you gotta bring that up?
Hey.
Why do you have to bring that...
I got it.
Like, of all things to bring up, you have to bring that up?
When you have some fans bring
Talk
up
to
the
him.
fact that they love Kill the Magic, do you think that takes away some of the edge of what you guys are accomplishing?
Absolutely not. We were never supposed to succeed in the company. Now we're taking fans that were fans of Pro Wrestling Magic and turning them against them. We're really going against the machine there. Like, we were the rejects of Pro Wrestling Magic. I've never had a singles match. As Game Changer or as Relentless, I've never had a singles match in Pro Wrestling Magic. And I felt, rightfully so,
To this day,
that I was singled out. I was never supposed to succeed in a company. I was actually in the first Pro Wrestling Magic show that had 24 people in the crowd. 24. This is the same company that had JT Dunn versus Cody Rhodes, standing room only.
Yeah, I remember.
Standing room only.
I think the Metal Land Monster was at that show.
Was he?
He was.
I don't remember.
He was too sweet in Cody Rhodes.
Listen, when John Tella's done with him, he'll be too sweet in himself in the ER. All right? So you don't mind the Meadowlands Monster, all right? Like, I felt kind of like betrayed. I'm watching these guys come in and get the Cody Rhodes and get the names and get the,
Right, just being
Paul
passed up.
Londons. I'm like, God damn it, I was in the first goddamn show.
Yeah.
Throw me a goddamn ball. Give me the ball and I will fucking run with it. That's been my MO since day one. It's like, if you want to treat me as an outcast or an outsider, that's okay. I've been there before. I've been there when I felt like the goddamn world was against me. So I know what to do.
Do you still feel like that way today?
Yeah, you have to. You can't feel like... I'm never satisfied with anything I do. I always feel like it could have been better, or like... No, but like, seriously, I'm never okay with a match because I'm like, well, could have done this. Could have done... If I did this, it would have been better. Like, I'm always so hypercritical of myself. And honestly, I think that will put me ahead of somebody who's complacent and just okay with being a part of the team.
I agree.
I'm not here to fill a spot. I'm here to take the goddamn thing, And when you put me in the ring with somebody who can go, I'm going to show you that I'm the fucking man, And me, Donovan, Ice at the time, Off, Martinez, we were just a bunch of pissed off guys that were like, yo, when the hell are we going to get the spotlight? Like, we're sitting here breaking our backs for a goddamn company, and you're not showing the world what we can do. Fuck you. This is what we're doing. And now look at us. Pro Wrestling Tag Team Gold. Magic Tag Team Gold. Pro Wrestling Magic Heavyweight Championship. Donovan won the keys to the kingdom. Since winning the title, we've beaten Glitz and Glamour, the original Pro Wrestling Magic Tag Team Champions. We've beaten the Down Boys, the Amazing Graysons, Breakfast Club, Tough Guy Inc., Psycho Drivers, Grassa and Smiley. Listen, Smiley, it doesn't matter who you tag up with. Outcome's the same every single time. Stay home. But we've beaten everybody you put in against us. Donovan and I beat Nunzio and Hornswoggle. You know, this is nothing new to us. We knew we were this good. It's new to you guys because we weren't given the platform to show how good we were, you know? And now that it's like, okay, here's the ball. No, we took the goddamn ball. Don't try to say you handed it to us, because since Pro Wrestling Magic's been a thing, they haven't handed me shit. I've taken everything I've wanted. I've taken this, you know? I'm not going to stop, you know, until everything in that kingdom is ours.
You talked about switching gears. You talked about your appreciation for Gino Caruso because
Yes.
you've gotten, you know, your start in there and you worked a lot of TV tapings there. Would you ever go back to ECPW?
Absolutely. As I said, I have no ill will towards Gino or the ECPW product. I have a lot of friends there. My best friends are champions there. Sonny Kiss and Kenny Bengal. Those two are my best friends, you know.
Sonny Kiss and Lucha Underground now. What do you think of what he's doing?
I am so proud of him. So fucking proud. I was actually with him and Kenny watching the premiere of it last night, and to know that he's part of that product, even though he wasn't on the premiere episode of of season 4, just to know he's in there learning from these guys and being able to hone his craft in a completely different spotlight is so cool. Like, it's like, okay, this is where Sonny's at. Now let's get the entire new gen involved.
Right.
Who is New Gen? Let's educate a lot of the fans who New Gen is.
The new gen is a group of guys that just started training together that we bonded. Originally, Kenny, Sonny, and I started all within 6-7 months of each other, and we kind of all clicked. And then like Allie Rex came in, and she started training with us, and we took her in. And Prince Akhenaten came back after like a 3-year hiatus, and we took him in. And then the Graysons joined, and they started hanging out with us. Then we saw Mike Orlando, who started with OTW and other places out there. We clicked with him, so we all started riding together. Now it's me, Kenny, Sonny, the Graysons, Ali Rex, and Mike Orlando and Prince Akhenaten. And us 8, we were able to just grow together. And like the best part about it is it's not Aaron Bradley in the new gen. It's not Mike Orlando in the new gen. It's not Kenny Bengal in the new gen. It's the new gen. And we kind of like called ourselves the new gen as a rib. And like it kind of clicked in the locker room with some of the older, bitter people in ECPW. We're like, oh, fucking new gen. Like, fuck, these guys know how to work.
Who would you consider the leader or somebody that everybody goes to for the advice or like the leader of the group?
There is no leader.
There is no leader.
There is no leader. Each of us are looking out for the best in everyone. If I see the Graysons slacking off, I'll tell them. They see Meg slacking off, they'll tell. Like, we're pushing each other to succeed. Now, if I'm not mistaken, all of us, you know, with the exception of Prince, who's kind of like in and out right now with the wrestling business, he's an older guy, so, you know, he's kind of just doing it to help the new gen and help the next generation of wrestlers. And like, he is a wealth of knowledge. All of us hold gold right now. The Graysons are actually, I'm not sure. I think they just dropped it.
They just dropped.
Oh, they're one of the longest reigning. I mean,
They were the longest reigning.
the scene.
ECW
You were.
tag
I don't know
team
if you were
somehow.
there that night when they lost the belts, but
I was not,
We could
no.
explain the scene. I mean, it was like the fans could not believe it. Like some people, the smart people, saw it coming, but
Maybe not that night.
even that they didn't know that night.
But I
But
think even when it happened, we were like,
yeah, even us when we were filming, when I was
Yeah.
doing
Like,
the
did they
commentary,
just
I did not
lose?
know it was gonna happen. Joey
Yeah.
G, when we were doing the commentary, we did not know it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
So our emotion was real when we announced it. We're like, oh my god, they won the tag team gold.
I don't think the announcers should ever know what's going to happen.
Absolutely,
I don't
yeah.
think so either.
And they got a standing ovation after that. I mean, it was the last match to close the taping, and the fans were really appreciative because they've had the belts for like 2.5 years or
A long time, man. And up until they dropped the belts, each one of us held at least 1 or 2 or even more pieces of gold. That says in volumes how hard we push each other. You know, to make sure that each and every one of us, every time we step through those ropes, are on our A game. You know? And you need that. You need somebody who's going to not let you get complacent, make driving on the roads bearable, because if you're in a group of people you don't like,
I know.
or they're complacent, or you're just okay with where you're at, you're not going to get far. So if you have one or two or three people just pushing you to a, something, it's going to get you to where you need to be a lot quicker than you get there alone,
Gotcha.
If
Right,
W-
so-
WWE calls today, let's just say, how would you see yourself fitting in with your character, with your experience in WWE right now?
Whatever they needed, I would do, and I would make it the best product I can possibly put out. I'm here to make money, and if WWE called today and said, we need you, and this is what we need, I'd do anything for them, because that's where the money is.
Would you move out to Orlando if they told you?
Yes. Actually, I want to move out to Orlando. Like, it's fucking beautiful down there. I hate winter so much. More than I hate you. And that's
Me?
yes.
You still hate me after all this time?
Yes.
Yes.
Mike, what were you going to say?
I was just, you know what?
Still hates me, O'Neal.
Everyone hates you. Now, I was going to say we've taken enough, I think, of Mr. Bradley's time, but let's close it out with.
I had a promotion recently tell me that they're looking to expand their bench. You're an indie company. Get over yourselves. You don't have a fucking bench, all right? Fuck you. Here's the thing. In a year from now, you're going to be wishing you booked me, all right? I'm going to take whatever the fuck I want, and that's money, gold, and power.
And right now, to close us out, they could see you at Pro Wrestling Magic, D2W, and where else?
Pro Wrestling Magic, D2W, Warriors of Wrestling, WXWC4. Right now, those are the main groups I'm working with. I'm also doing shows out in WrestleSphere, out in Music, Pennsylvania, July 15th. Got some other stuff coming up in Florida and in Chicago. So I'm going to be all over the place. I'm looking to get back out, travel more. I'm working on some stuff, maybe getting out to the UK. I want to get out to Mexico, Germany, all that shit. So you're going to be seeing me a lot of places.
Thanks for joining us today
Thank
in
you
the
for having
studio.
me.
Okay.